Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Nady, and today we'll be testing out the Jaclyn Cosmetics Skin Tints and Concealers. As you beautiful people know, this is about the products, not the people behind them. Any tiff you may have with them, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy. Okay? Thank you. Oh, my little blueberry bubbles, how you doing today? I hope wherever you're at in the world, you're having a marvelous day so far. I myself am doing excellent. I'm kind of up a little bit earlier than I normally am because I'm so freaking excited to try this out. I'm gonna be filming 2 videos with this today. One video just trying it, and then I would like to do a comparison with Morphe. We are just starting this video out shady. I'm sorry. I'm not doing a comparison to be a shady lady, I promise. Why Morphe, might you be asking? When I reviewed Rem Beauty a few weeks ago, like I said in my review, I got a shipping notification from Morphe, which I kind of dug myself into a tunnel finding that Rem isn't necessarily produced by Morphe, but it's probably produced in the same lab. And because Morphe's so big, they use the same distribution center. And then I got a lot of comments saying that Jaclyn Beauty is pretty much Morphe as well, which doesn't surprise me at all because Jaclyn basically is Morphe. So when I saw this brand launch these products, I hopped on Morphe's site and found very similar items. I haven't done comparisons with ingredients or testing or anything. That's what I'm going to be doing with my next video. But before I dive into that, I do want to showcase these because, not gonna lie, a lot of the products from this brand I've actually really loved and I kind of use on the daily. But also, if they are literally repackaged products that are cheaper, I'm gonna go for the cheaper ones. Like, I'm not gonna recommend a dupe that's 4 times the price of an original product. You know what I mean? But we'll put that to the test after this video, so that should be my next one. Keep your eyes open. But in the meantime, I wanted to try these out for this video. So we'll start off by saying that the skin tint did get a shit ton of hate I saw on Trend Mood and Jaclyn's actual posts. And then I must have been scrolling through Instagram or Twitter or something because I saw Jaclyn herself pop up and say that the shade range is so shitty because this is so clear and like minimal coverage. And so myself, who's kind of on the fair side because it's the middle of fucking winter, I probably could have been totally fine just ordering either light medium like I did or just light. And so I do totally understand that. However, I don't understand paying a big price tag for something that's pretty much water. Like, for $34, which is what this retails for a piece, I could get a bomb ass full coverage foundation that I could mix with a little bit of moisturizer to turn into this. Like, why start at minimum when you can start at maximum and get to minimum? And at least have the option of having maximum. Because, like, with this, you're always only ever gonna have a very light wash of color. But also, I totally understand that, like, a lot of people don't want full coverage. A lot of people want a nice natural look. They're not looking for a foundation per se. So I can totally hop on board with this. I honestly feel like wheat thin cracker dust blowing in the wind would give me more coverage than this would. But like I said, there's absolutely a market for this, myself included, because I don't always like wearing foundation. I just want to look a little bit healthier sometimes. So though I wouldn't be caught dead normally paying that price, I'm still really stoked to try this, and I'm really excited for the concealers too. The concealers actually had a very, very nice shade range. Well, not nice, but certainly extensive. Without having them in front of me, it does look like a whole bunch of creamier, lighter shades and then a few medium and deeper ones. But I could be completely wrong. This could have an excellent shade range. I just can't tell from a picture. I really can't tell what the fuck my correct shade is, so I stocked the hell up on these. I got fair light pink, fair neutral, light peach, and fair light peach. Hopefully one of those is deep enough and works for me. But this Squee is $26, and every freaking time I'm on the Jaclyn website, her picture is always right in the middle and it won't move. They say this is a lightweight, buildable concealer so fresh you'll look well rested. That is my goal because bitch does not sleep. This faux filler perfecting concealer offers medium to full coverage and a matte finish, and I guess this is actually a concealer versus just a brightener. You can conceal dark spots, you can conceal under your eyes, you can conceal scars, blemishes. It totally sounds like something that I would regularly use. So let's try this. I did just wash and exfoliate my face so we're all smooth. And I'm not sure, do I go in with like my normal skincare and primer? Also, this is called faux filler. Isn't there a faux filter or something? That sounds awfully familiar. The directions say apply with a medium synthetic brush or your fingertips so product melts into your skin. Pair with a concealer for a flawless finish. They also say that you can layer this up, and for a really poppin' look, go in with a damp beauty sponge right after you apply this. Shit, we could do that. Oh wait, they also say that you can use this as a primer underneath your normal products. I'm not paying that much for a fucking primer, but since they say you can use this as a primer, maybe I don't need one. Let's go in with primer and shit on half my face. Yeah, let's do that. So usually to prime and everything, I take my Nimia skincare and mix it with my my Laura Mercier blurring primer, so I'll just take that on this half of my face, I guess. I don't know which we should go in with, the light or the medium light. I don't know if you can see the actual product inside. Oh yeah, you kind of can. Like always, this brand has really cute packaging. It looks nice and luxurious. Good color scheme. It's cute. Here is the light one. Here is the medium one. I think I'm gonna go in for the medium one. It has like a rosier undertone. But before we slap it on our face, let me just do a little bit on my hands so we can see what they actually blend out to. Oh, wow, that's really thick. There is the medium and there is the light. Wow, that's just really, really thick. For some reason, I thought it was gonna be a thinner formula because it is so sheer. Yeah, they honestly both turn into very, very similar, like, nothingness. Like slight coverage, but more of like a sunscreeny look. Let's start with one little pump of the medium one on my hand. Like if that were a foundation, that would absolutely be too deep for me. But because they say it's more on the universal side, I'm gonna try this one. I'll take about half of that on my finger and let's just start on this side. This is the side with the primer and we'll blend it out with our hands. Okay, so the moment it's on my skin, it actually gets a bit lighter, kind of like how I said the sunscreen thing. So it does certainly have a little bit of coverage. That might be like the blurring effect. Ooh, you know, I actually kind of like that, but then like the price rings in my head and I'm like, what did I just pay for? I know this is supposed to be super minimal, but I think I was expecting just a little bit more, like AKA anything to happen, but not so much. What my skin now looks like is after I take like an oil blotting sheet to it, how it's kind of smooth and more on the matte side. Just a little bit more refreshed and kind of similar to how my skin is after I apply this Grown Alchemist Matte Balancing Moisturizer. I don't know, what do you think? Do you notice any difference? This side has it, this side has none. Let me go in with the other little bloopy on the other side that doesn't have the primer. Maybe it'll make a difference, I don't know. Well, that blended out very nicely, although I don't think I applied quite as much to this side, and I'm not noticing the white cast that this side has. I almost wonder if the blurring effect that I'm seeing is actually coming from my blurring primer, which would make sense because the other side doesn't look like I put anything on. Like there's no blurring, no mattifying, no nothing. So I'm not exactly certain what to say. Like now at this point, I could see this being a great primer because that's all it is. I think I was just expecting a little bit more, but it's not as though my skin necessarily looks bad. It just doesn't look enhanced at all, and certainly not like a $34 enhancement. Is that how much this was? They do currently have one review for this, and they say they just got this in the mail. They chose the light shade. They have a yellow undertone, and they're shook. I know this isn't supposed to be a foundation or anything, but girl, it did give me coverage and even my skin. I wonder how much they used. They say you could use very little, and it would give you a sheer tint, but a little goes a long way. Well, I don't know, because if I used that much of like my Maybelline, which I'm always fucking talking about, I would have like an actual full face. So I don't know, should we try another little squirt? I mean, it's not like it's gonna get worse. What, am I gonna have less coverage than this? I don't think so. So let's go in with one more little bloopy. This is shooting out like half pump, so it looks like two, but it's really only one. This time, I'm just gonna take this all over my face and blend it out. Kind of like a normal moisturizer. Ooh, we might be getting somewhere now. Like the consistency really is very, very nice. Does it smell like bubblegum? No, I don't, lilies, lilacs, some kind of flower. And now with 2 layers on, well, like a lot of products, it does seem to pale in my little beard fur. That's not a make or break for me. Shit just does that sometimes. But if you do have thicker peach fuzz on your face, you might have to be a little bit careful. On the rest of my face, I definitely like the side without the skincare more. Like this side with the primer, it just looks a little bit pilly. It does look more blurred and smooth. So if that's the kind of look you're going after, I would definitely use a good primer with this. But I think that primer's also making this look a little bit dry. The other side of my face, the product still looks dry and just like it's catching in weird spots. It's almost like I'm blending it out a little bit too much. And so it's just not nicely distributed. But I can only see that if I'm super fucking close to my face. I think from a little bit of a distance, like a normal person would be, I think it's pretty. I don't really think it's much of anything, which I know is the point of this product. So I don't know. What do you think? I'm a little bit baffled, I will admit. I think I was just expecting like a BB cream where there'd be a little bit of coverage, maybe a little bit of correcting. I can still see all the redness under here. I can still see all my freckles, but I think I do look a tiny bit healthier. But wow, this is really catching in dry spots that I thought I'd gotten rid of. Like my forehead looks scaly, very similar to how it used to look, but only on this side. On the side with the skincare and the primer, it doesn't look scaly, it just looks like I'm wearing something. And on my nose, it's not sitting very well. It's rubbing off. It's kind of making my nose look dry and flaky, even though I literally exfoliated. So there shouldn't be anything coming off. I don't know about this. I definitely think you're better off not using a primer, or at least not using that primer. Maybe it'd be okay with moisturizer because it kind of does seem to need a moisturizer. Otherwise, it's gonna catch to any dry spots that you didn't even know you fucking had. Like, this makes me sad. I've been working so hard on my skincare, and this just made my skincare regimen look like it got reversed, which I think is the total opposite of what this is supposed to do. But also, it doesn't look that terrible. I would be comfortable wearing this. It's just when you get up close. So if you're doing photography with this, I don't know that I would. I don't think that I'm gonna apply another layer, so let's just tap this into place like they said with a damp beauty sponge. Ooh, that looks pretty. However, I also think that it kind of took away all of the coverage that I had. Like, it doesn't look as though I'm wearing anything. I wouldn't say my skin looks any better, any healthier. It just is my skin. Like, I can still see all my little flaws here. I don't think it's quite as impactful as I thought it would be. I am so tempted to put on one more little bloop, but I don't want to like over layer this because I know it is supposed to be on the sheer side. So maybe this is what it's supposed to be. I don't know. Like, I don't want to fuck this up. I have made the executive decision. I'm taking a half a pump, I'm blending it in my sponge, and I'm just gonna take this on the spots that I really, really need a little bit more extra correcting, which is basically just around my nose. Also, when you apply it directly with a sponge like that, you actually get some better coverage. Like, I wouldn't go as far as saying it's decent coverage, but it's better. I think I like doing that much more because with the amount that I have on, I would say that it actually does build up to be this color. So maybe I should have used the lighter one or mixed the two. But with 3 full pumps on the face, I would say that you get just as much coverage as maybe like a half to 1 pump of my Maybelline Fit Me. This to me looks really, really pretty. I can tell that there is a little bit of coverage because some parts of my face is on the yellowy side and some parts are my skin. I kind of thought it was going to be more rosy than this, but either way, this isn't bad. What do you think? Are you okay paying $34 for something that is this much coverage with 3 pumps? I do think it's pretty. I still think that it's prettier on the side where I don't have any products laid down under this. And I really don't think that you need the primer because if they say this acts as a primer and you go over this with concealer, you've already got a primer down. So why apply 2 primers? For Squeeze, we have Fair Light Peach, we have Light Neutral, we have Light Peach, we have Fair Light Pink, and we have Fair Neutral. They actually do have a good bit of difference between them too. I know they all look like shades of vanilla pudding, but there is a very clear difference between these. I think that light peach is kind of the color of my skin, so I'm gonna try to spot conceal right down here. And I've got a little bloopy right there, and then maybe under my eyes to highlight, I'll go in with this lighter one. So here we go. Oh my gosh. Ooh, she's like glued shut. I wonder if this oxidizes a little bit because the wand is quite a bit deeper than the actual product. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'm gonna take a little bit of this right there. Oh, you know what? This is actually kind of on the light side. I'll probably end up using this under my eyes. This guy is supposed to have much fuller coverage, so that's kind of exciting. Once again, though, it does not blend very well out in the facial fur. I don't expect products to. It's just a perk when they do. It did a decent job at concealing down there, but I'm gonna tell you right the fuck now, that little patch, which didn't look that dry before, now looks really fucking dry. Like, you can absolutely tell that I tried to conceal it. It is certainly not at all moisturizing. I think they said this was a matte formula, but with some products, they figured out how to make it matte but not drying. I don't know that this is one of those formulas though. I'm just gonna take a little bit on the back of my hand and I'm gonna dip into it with a brush, just like that, a little tiny amount, and we'll plop that right under here and start blending it out with this baby. Ooh. Okay, so instantly, I do see that it actually does have a good amount of coverage. And it's blending out marvelously. It does look hella dry and textured though. And it also looks like it might not be a good color for me right now. Ooh, but like right underneath my eyes, it's really cracky and breaky aparty. This is the side with the primer though, and so I'm not that surprised because the foundation itself did kind of look that way. So let's see how it is on the other side. Same product, same brush. We'll just tap it right under here, kind of blend it around. This does have fantastic coverage. Like, you have to give it that. It's more so the finish, which on this side, I don't know. It doesn't look quite as dry, but it still is adding texture. And I'm noticing on my hand where it's drying, it's getting quite a bit darker, like several shades deeper. It starts off being like the perfect color, and then as it dries down, I can see exactly where I put it. Like, I just see a triangle of product. And really, it's the same for this side. It is super drying, but from like here, it looks pretty damn good, doesn't it? I almost wonder if this would be a better product if you put like a really super moisturizing eye cream down, but I also wonder if that would make it oxidize. Like, what's on my hand? It's like a good 3 shades deeper, so I probably could get away with using that lighter one, but we're gonna get really close because this just looks so fucking dry under there. Oh, hold on though, let me tap it out with a sponge because maybe that'll help. No, it didn't. All right, these magical lights really do drown out a lot of flaws, but can you see how just dry and cracky and cakey that looks underneath my eyes? And I didn't even go in with that much. Like, I tried to use it super sparingly, but that just looks really awful underneath my eyes. In fact, now that everything is drying down, everything just looks really, really dry. Like, my forehead wrinkles are super accentuated from the base face product. This concealer just looks ridiculous. Here, let me adjust the camera settings a little bit so it's not quite as bright. Like, do you see that? Am I crazy? This underneath my eyes is absolutely changing, like, as I'm looking at it. It is now turned orange. It's really yellowy. It's really cakey. I don't know if maybe it needs set with a good powder. That could totally be, and that's fair. That's a concealer for you. But I just don't love the way that this looks, especially for the price. Like, for this price, I should look porcelain. I should look flawless. And I would not say that I'm either of those. I look like I got slapped in the face by a stick of butter and then ran over with like a flour truck because I just look so freaking cakey. So like, that foundation stuff made my nose look super oily, and it's oily on both sides, so I know it's not the primer or whatever products I used before. These products to me just aren't a cute look. So I think on this side, because it's already somewhat fucked up, I'm gonna set it with a little bit of powder. I don't know, maybe that would help, but the under eye is just really creasing the hell up on me, and it's just not a good look. Ooh, you know what? That actually did kind of help. Maybe I should do that on both sides. You know what? Fuck it, we're going to, because this side is getting like caverns underneath my eyeballs here. That helped so much. I wonder if I need powdered all over. Shit, let's do it. This is also a really expensive kind of blurring powder, so you shouldn't have to rely on products like this to make other products work, especially at this price point. But that did seem to help a very, very, very tiny amount. I still look dry. I still look cakey. I still didn't even go in with that much under eye product. I'd be scared shitless to see what my under eyes would look like if I went in like I normally do with products. But if you have super hydrated skin, maybe it would look great because that coverage is fucking awesome. Hopefully you can see exactly what I'm talking about. I am going to do a little bit of a wear time test with this, and I think I'm going to leave this just like this. I'm not going to rely on any other powders or contours or eyeshadows to cover up these flaws. I want to see how this actually wears. So I will see you in a little bit. I will check in downstairs in natural lighting, and hopefully you can see a little bit more of what I'm talking about. So see you in just a second. Hi. Okay, so I'm back downstairs, but it's a very lovely cloudy day out, and the lighting actually looks exactly like my studio. So I'm in my bathroom with more realistic lighting. Can you see exactly where this shit is? Oh my gosh. We are very, very yellow. I wanted to show you more like what this looks like underneath my eyes. Like, look at all of that texture around there. We are very close and personal. Hi gay. But yeah, see like how it's laying and like pilling in my nose, and just how weird that looks under there. It's just not cute. I know it's totally not the correct color, but I feel like even if I had my correct shade, this still wouldn't look that good. But I don't know, maybe if you had really moisturized under eyes, it would be a different story, but like, this is like embarrassing to even show. Ooh. Oh. So normally I really like products from this brand. I've thought they've been so fuckable from here on up, but this just genuinely does not look good. And I know that makeup isn't universal. This might look fabulous on other people. I mean, it must. They came out with a product. But I have been really applying the serums, the skincare, the oils, the moisturizers, like everything. My face is not dry, yet somehow this has turned it into like sandpaper. Depending on the light. Like here is what we look like in cloudy weather. Like I can still see a bunch of yellow under there. Oh my gosh, you can actually see exactly where it's spread out. What the fuck? For me, it is no good. Which is kind of sad because honestly, I was rooting for both these products. I think I just wish that the foundation or skin tint, whatever, had a little bit more coverage, but I actually preferred that product over the concealer. Like when I look in the mirror from a distance, my skin does look healthier. My under eyes just look a little bit ridiculous. So I'm not against the skin tint, but for the price, I really think that you could get better with not only the price, but with the quality, with the coverage, with the overall finish. But for me, if I'm gonna drop that much coin, I want a little better result. It's certainly not something that I'm gonna be like, yeah, go out and run and buy it. Anyways, I'm gonna continue wearing this. I will see you in a little bit at the end of my day. And we are back. It is not yet the end of my day, but it has been several hours, and I kept wearing this thinking that maybe the natural oils in my skin would help soften this up and just look better. It didn't. I'm just very torn with this product because you can tell that this was made by an influencer because from like a foot away on camera, this looks really pretty. It looks airbrushed, it looks soft, but then in real life, when you're a foot away, this looks like actual trash and like garbage under my eyes. But the further that you get away in person and on camera, it does look soft, it looks airbrushed. So I guess if you're gonna be like on stage and 50 feet from people, then this would be great. But so would literally any concealer. So my main concern is how this looks from a couple feet away. And to me, this just looks really dry. It looks really cakey. It totally changed colors from what it originally was. I probably would have been better off using this lighter one, but it really did start off quite light when I applied it under my eyes. I don't think that I applied too much, and I applied it with like a really good blending brush, and I tapped it out with a damp beauty blender. Like there really is no reason why this should look quite this cakey underneath my eyes, yet it does. But as far as it feels on my face, it's very comfortable. It doesn't feel like there's anything there. Even when I go like this, it's not like anything really comes off on my hands. So how it feels on the skin is very nice. I just don't like the way it looks, but if you know how to get drier formulas to look really good, then maybe this would be perfect for you. I know for me, any kind of dryness that a product might have, my skin will instantly enhance that. And honestly, it really surprises me that this brand came out with a matte product because Jaclyn herself is kind of all about the glowy, dewy look, isn't she? Like the middle of her face is always just wet looking, like somebody took a spray bottle to it. So I don't quite get why a matte formula is what's popping right now because I would have loved a dewier finish. Maybe that's something that'll come out in the future. You gotta have stuff for everyone. But for me, this product unfortunately isn't where it's at. The foundation, it's probably my favorite out of the two products. It's not something that I love, and right now it's certainly not like a holy grail for me, but I will definitely give it a few more tries. I don't know, it just didn't do enough to my face to really justify the price or even any kind of effort in applying it. Like I truly feel I would get a better looking product if I mixed even my ColourPop Pretty Fresh or my Maybelline Fit Me or my Uma Butete or even a little bit of this Juvia's Place foundation with just a tad bit of moisturizer or even the primer products that I used. I really think that that would look better, and it is a way cheaper alternative. But if you don't mind spending a little bit of money, if they're having a sale, definitely try it if you're curious about it, because I do think this is the clear winner in this little collection. But I do use the term winner very loosely, like somebody's hole after an orgy kind of loose. It's just the better option out of the two products. I don't love any of this, but I do kind of like it. And I guess it's held up pretty decently over time. Like my face doesn't look greasy. It doesn't necessarily look glowy. It just looks like skin. So yeah, you'll have to let me know what you think. Remember, we are under magical lights, and from a distance, this does look good. So really take this view with a grain of salt. I really hope you were able to see this a little bit clearer with my phone down downstairs. So yeah, I don't know. That was just interesting. For me, the results are kind of backwards. Like, I thought I would be head over tits over this concealer and just not really in love with this face foundation thing, whatever it is. But I somewhat very loosely enjoyed this, and I really don't like this, so who'da thunk? Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Make sure to catch my next video doing the comparison between this and Morphe. It has been a long day, but I think I'm gonna stay up a few more hours and slap that shit on my face and see how they compare. Maybe do a good moisturizing treatment in between. But yeah, I'm very curious to know, did you get anything from this collection? How did you like it? Were they dry on your skin? Did they look great? I always love hearing from you and hearing the different results because, like, everyone's different. That's the fun of makeup. So once again, thank you so much for being here. I truly love having you. And if at any point in your life you think, hey, I would love to have a little bit more of that bitch Nady in my life, head over to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/poplux. You get videos a day early, you get Patreon only content, and best part, it is cheap, fun, and fancy, just like me. It is a party. No, it's actually very chill, but it's a fun time. And like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, will be available again soon at thepoplux.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplux.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye!